Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how we can change the sky from daytime to nighttime and, well, everything in between, and how that's going to affect the lighting within your maps and your environments. I've just got a basic template here, but this would apply for anything that you're working on. So what I'm going to do is we're going to need to come first of all to this item here. This is the main light source, which is called in the asset list up here. And you can see it looks like a sun and it's got a directional arrow. And if we kind of follow that arrow backwards, we can see there's this sun's position in the sky. So we can see that we can now rotate this, and it's going to rotate the view of the shadows and the position of the sun. All right, first thing you might notice as well is that you're going to get this preview text on the ground. Don't worry about that. As soon as you rebuild the lighting, that's going to go away. So it just means that the lighting will need rebuilding if it says preview. So, okay, what if I want to go now from daytime to nighttime? Pointing downwards is going to be day, in the middle of the day. So pointing directly upwards, if we go up like that, that's going to be the middle of the night. And we can see that the environment has gone into darkness, but the sky is still looking like it's the middle of the day. So that needs refreshing. So what we do is once we've changed the angle with the light source, you need to come down to this one here called the sky sphere or sky sphere blueprint. And there'll be an option to refresh the material. If you just tick that box, you instantly get that change to the time of day. All right, and you can see now it's nighttime. Below that, there are some things also that you can change here. So notice how the clouds, they sort of slowly move. You've got things like cloud speed. I could turn that up to 5, or whatever, 10. They'll move much faster. I'll keep it at 2. Cloud opacity, about how much you want to be able to see the clouds. So if you turn it up to like 10, it's like a super cloudy day or night. 0.2, and there's, it's pretty much clear. And then you can do things like the brightness of the stars. I can make that like 0.5, and you can see that brightens that up. Okay, but all of these settings, I would encourage you to just sort of play around with them, see what they do. What I normally do is, like I did with the opacity, put it up to a really high number, like 10, and you'll really see the extreme effect of it. And then you can play around with what you actually want that result to look like. Okay. But when we look at the game here, it's not pitch black. It's dark, but it isn't pitch black. So what we need to do to really see the full result once we've made the change to the sky is to rebuild the lighting. So I'll just go up here and build the lighting. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Okay, it's just doing that now. And there we go. So we can see that the lighting has been rebuilt and the ground is just in complete darkness. So what we need to do, well, if you did want to have it, completely at nighttime, you're going to have to light the scene in a different way. So if I just come over to here, we can see that there's a section called lights, and you're going to need to use these lights essentially. So if I just drop in a point light, just to show you as an example, drop that in there, lift it above the ground a little bit, and you can see already that there's some light here. Again, you can come over to the settings. So lights have fairly similar settings, all of them. So they have intensity. Turn that up to like 15, maybe 20, make that a lot brighter. We can adjust the color. If there's any kind of mood that you wanted to set, or whatever's going on, you can make it kind of orangey. The radius, things of the spread of the light, and things like that. But again, play around with them. If you ever make a mistake and something goes wrong, you can always just click the little yellow arrow and it will reset whatever setting that is back to what it was by default. So you don't have to worry about going wrong, really. If I just play that now, you can see we're in darkness, and we now have, you can look up at the sky, and there's the stars there, and we have this light source here lighting the character. Okay, so that's that way. What I can also do is I come over to the sun again here. if I rotate this to, let's say, not the day because we had that, somewhere in between. So I'm going to go sideways. Okay, and that's going to give us a result of sort of sunrise, sunset kind of time. But again, you see nothing has changed here when I rotate the sun. So I need to go back to the sky sphere again and refresh the material. And you can see the sky is now this orangey, sunsetty type of color. And in this instance, you might want to turn up the clouds a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. Play around with it depending on what you want. And then, of course, you'll need to update the lighting. I'm just going to delete that light that I had there and build lighting again. And what we should see is that the environment should reflect the lighting of the time of day. And there we go, we can see that it has done. So we now got this kind of warm orangey kind of glow due to the time of day that we've set it to. So, well, that's it really. So just as a recap, we select the sun, which is the light source. We rotate it to the position of the sun. And then once you've done that, you come to the sky sphere, refresh the material, play around with any of the settings you'd like to adjust, and then rebuild the lighting. Okay, and that's basically how you can set it to any time of day that you want. All right.